First, I've been watching Bridgerton along with a lot of other people. It's great. Well, actually, I find it a bit boring, but that's not the point. Everyone thinks it's great. But one of the striking things about it is it has a racial cast. So they are not bound by the usual conventions of, shall we say, the Queen Charlotte in Regency England is played by Golda Rocherville, who's an actress of colour. Obviously, Queen Charlotte was not a person of colour. We've got Regine Page. He plays the Duke of Hastings, kind of a white role, but he is a black guy. No, I've got no problem with this. Jodie Turner-Smith playing Anne Boleyn. She's also an actress of colour. She's in the new Channel 5 drama now. Anne Boleyn was not, as you know, a person of colour. So this is fine. Actors are there to play people that they're not. So I don't see a problem with that at all. But you don't see it much the other way. So when will we next see? If you get a white person to play Othello, obviously the black character in Shakespeare, then that's called cultural appropriation. So why isn't it cultural appropriation when a black person plays a white person? The other way round, it seems to be a sin, but the black to white, that's okay. It seems a bit strange, that's all. I think all actors should be able to play all parts. Let's see what our next guest thinks about that. It's Conservative commentator Dominique Samuels. Good afternoon, Dominique.
Good afternoon.
What do you feel about this increasing syndrome? I don't know if you've been watching Bridgerton. Actually, I was about to say I said earlier it's great, but most people say it's great. I can't say that I agree. I'm finding it rather boring. But that isn't what we're talking about. It is a multiracial cast, black actors playing characters that clearly would have been white, particularly Queen Charlotte in the Regency period. I have no problem with that, but you don't see it in the other direction. When do you think we will see white actors playing, I don't know, suppose they made another movie about Malcolm X and they got Kenneth Branagh to play him or someone like that. What do you think?
I think this kind of attributing, certain characteristics to certain roles for certain people is more of a modern phenomena. I mean, you mentioned Othello. Historically, Othello was actually played by white characters before. They used to black themselves up as well.
But my point is that I get that, Dominic. Oh, of course, famously, Olivier did that. And of course, there's the movie with Orson Welles, where rather jarringly by today's standards, there they are with boot polish all over their faces. Yes, you used to see that, but you don't see it anymore.
Yeah, you don't see it anymore. And I think that's why I say it's more of a modern phenomenon, because it's created this kind of double standard. When my mum put Bridgerton on, I didn't even realize that it was, playing historical characters that actually existed. I just thought that it was something that was created. But one thing that stuck in the forefront of my mind was that, this isn't very historically accurate. If we're being historically accurate here, that society wouldn't have been as multiracial.
Did you find that because I think some people do, did you find that jarring?
And I mean, I found it a bit confusing because I feel as though recently, when people cast actors to play these kinds of roles, I'm very skeptical of what the purpose of it is. Is it to make a political point? Is it to get attention using black actors, or is it to actually be inclusive? Personally, when I saw the black actress playing Anne Boleyn, obviously it's not historically accurate, and I think it was more so for attention, more so than it was about actually being representative of different races in society. But my overall opinion is that I don't believe the race of a character should necessarily take away from the absolutely pivotal role that Anne Boleyn, for example, played in Henry VIII's time as king. I just think that we wouldn't see this the other way around. So this double standard does annoy a lot of people, and I think rightly so.
Yes, that's the point, isn't it? If we saw it the other way round, I was trying to think yesterday about traditional. I mean, there's so many characters are traditionally white in drama and in history. Far fewer are traditionally black. So I was was trying to think of automatic or roles that you might think automatically would be played by black people that under this new system could be played by white. I couldn't think of that many. I was thinking about like Malcolm X, the film. I don't know. I mean, if you think about it, you could have those films with Sidney Poitier, like The Heat of the Night or Guess Who's Coming for Dinner. If you got those roles to be played by white people, it absolutely wouldn't work because it's all about the colour of the skin.
Yeah, and I think that might be the difference. I think with those kinds of roles, you know, the race of the person might be more pivotal. But I'm not even going to say it's just about white versus black. Even Americans, black Americans, have been getting angry at black British people for playing historically American black characters because we apparently aren't able to understand the significance of American slavery. So it seems that this kind of overzealous policing of what roles people can play is even within black people that just so happen to be British.
Yeah, cultural appropriation is a scourge, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it is. I think more so because it is in itself a lot of the time a double standard. I think that it's okay for other cultures to appropriate, you know, bits of European culture. And I understand there is context behind that. But you then can't say European people can't then go on to appreciate other cultures in the same way, because then that becomes racist. And in that sense, you become the very thing that you claim to be so against. And I just think it's very hypocritical.
I mean, on the same score, this isn't just a colour issue. It is to do with creeds, actors from different creeds playing roles in another area. So, I mean, I'm thinking about there are objections if an able-bodied actor plays a disabled character. Stick them in a wheelchair, even though they're not disabled, and the disabled community say, well, that's, you know, that role should go to a disabled person. I would contend, I get that point, but I would contend, you certainly should consider them, but I would contend that role should go to the best actor, the actor that impressed the producers the most in the reading, in the rehearsals.
I mean, I completely agree. And I think all this is an example of is just identity politics further seeping into the acting world and further seeking to control what we can and can't see, and seeking to make everything so politically correct that, you know, will we even have an acting industry that people are interested in years down the line if this is the kind of attitude that we have? Yes, I understand that, you know, playing a role of a disabled person may better be understood by someone that's actually disabled, but it really should be about the actor. I mean, there's plenty of actors that have had to get themselves into different roles, and I don't think playing an actor that's disabled, for example, is any different. Personally, it's just acting.
Yeah, I mean, the same for gay people. There's been objections that straight people play gay people in films. You don't seem to get any objections when it's the other way around, when gay people play straight people. So I think what is at the heart of this, as I say, acting is about playing different people. So I say every actor, no matter what they are, should be able to play any role because that's their job. But I think at the heart of what we're seeing now with the increasing number of actors of colour playing white people, gay actors playing straight people, there's a kind of wokery at work here, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, there is. And it's just another dangerous example of where we're going, you know, as a society.